All right. Courtney, do you have anything you wish to say to start this video?
No, Courtney is in a healthy, happy relationship with Matt Newman. It's been like 50 years when we see this, we're going to laugh about it.
Thank you, Bennett.
You're welcome.
Number 10. For each of the following questions, decide if there is any bias in the way the question is phrased. If there is no bias, you can write fair question. Part A, do you think smart, hard-working teachers should get a pay raise?
Yes.
Do you think there's any bias on that?
Yes, sir.
Yes, because if that's true, then Mr. Hintz would get one.
And it says smart and hardworking.
Yep.
Adjectives.
Yep, uses adjectives. I mean, to really do it unbiasedly, you should say, do you think teachers should get a pay raise? Part B, studying helps improve grades. Do you think students should study more?
No, it's just an opinion.
Well, but there's a bias there. It's saying that if you study more, you're going to get better grades.
Yes, try to convince you to pick, yeah.
Yeah, they're trying to say, are you saying that students should get worse grades? Okay. Right. Whereas I am sure that Courtney believes that she studies enough.
I don't study enough.
I don't have a B- since class.
Mr. Hayes, if you could take a guess, how many minutes a night do you think I study before tests?
120.
Not
Zero.
Wow.
Aren't you just a brainiac, Ava?
I was saying.
Yeah, I never studied in high school either. What is your favorite subject? Math, science, social studies, or language arts?
It limits them.
Right, it limits them. Yep, that should be a what is your favorite class? You should be able to list it out. And if you really wanted to, do this one correctly, you get rid of social studies and language arts because whose favorite class could be social studies or language arts? Math or science?
Wait, so listen.
I like science.
C is biased because they limit your choices.
This is going to be on the internet, so I'm not going to say
Is it really?
Yep. Whereas, like Courtney, you should be allowed to say that, your favorite class is something like, I don't know, advanced ceramics or something like that.
It's AP ceramics. Come on.
So, how about part D? Don't you agree students have to study too much? Is that biased?
No, kind of.
Yes, because it says don't you agree?
Yes, I mean, yes. Because if you disagree with that, that's like saying, well, no, they study too much, or they don't study enough now.
Yeah, man.
E. Don't you support the plan to increase the length of the school year to ensure that more students are successful?
Okay, students studied and weren't stupid. We wouldn't have to extend the school years. Students' fault for being stupid.
That's bias.
This is
That's biased because what they're trying to get the point across is that if you disagree with that, you want fewer students to be successful.
I don't want you
I want fewer students to be successful.
Yeah, it makes you look
More
better in
job
college.
opportunities for you.
How about F? Do you think students study enough?
Because do you think? You said best do student study.
Do you think students study enough? That's kind of unbiased.
Unbiased. That's what I said.
That's a fair question. And G, to what degree does the government worry about education? Low, medium, or high? And what does the government worry about?
What I'm looking up on the internet. We're like, oh, what is ISIS?
Oh yes, Big Brother is looking over your shoulder all the time. Don't think it's not.
Search history.
Is it
I'll show
limited?
you.
Because it gives you low, medium, or high?
Yep. Yeah, I would agree that this one. And if they got rid of that what does the government worry about? That might make it a little more fair. It's a bad question all around.
That one was fair.
Well, I would, if they didn't have the what does the government worry about, I would say that it was a fair question. Number 11.
Yeah.
Manual's class created a bar graph for the data collected from the question, how many brothers and sisters do you have? Well, and look at this. Here's our very nice bar graph. Let's see if we can get a picture of it up in here. Oh, yeah. Come on, focus. All right. So here's our bar graph. And then we had some questions to answer about it. Let's see. First one is, how many students said they had 3 siblings? Well, here's 3 siblings, and that would be 1, 2, 3, 4.
Quattro.
How many more students said they had 1 sibling than said they had 3? Well, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Mr. Haynes says how many more students said they had 1 sibling and then said they had none.
Oh my gosh, I read that problem wrong.
He said the answer.
Is it
1, 2, 3. Yep, 3. Okay. Right, because 4 students said they had none, 7 students said they had 1, so that would be a difference of 3. How many students are represented in the histogram? 22, right? You would count up, here's 1, 2, 3, there's 4, this one was 7, this one would be 5, this one's 4, that's 2. And we add all those up, 7 and 4 is 11, and 5 is 16, 20, 22. Okay. Then part D asks the question, what is the mean, the median, and the mode number of siblings represented? And are any of those measures a central tendency impossible to find, and why? Well, to me, they're all able to be found. The mode is 1. The median we would count through to 11, find the middle. Well, if we come 11 this way and 11 that way, we're going to fall right in the middle here. So that would be 1 plus 2 is 3, divided by 2 is 1.5, right? So the median would be 1.5, right? That's the typical 1.5 children in the American family. Now, the mean, what we would do is total up how many children there are total and divide it by the number of students. Now, if we do this, we'd get 0 here, we'd get 7 here. Let's take, right, we would get 0, we'd have 7 there.
Find this one, because it's 4 or more. You don't know how many.
Oh, well, yeah, well, then we couldn't find the mean. Good point. Then we could not find the mean.
Mr. Haynes, how many followers do you have on YouTube?
I don't know.
You're famous!
If you go back on some of the old videos, I even play guitar in some of them, so yeah.
Oh my lord!
Yeah.
Wait, can they hear me?
Yeah, they should be able to.
Hello, children in this class with letters, last names, A
Alright.
through J. Sucks to suck.
All right, number 12.
You're so rude, Amber.
Number 12, we've got Trish who collected some data. And she made a very nice bar graph. Let's see if we can get a picture of Trish's bar graph. Oh, look at this. And here's Trish's bar graph, and then we had some questions here. And it says, what's the mean snowfall for February and March? So, well, what you would hopefully do is add the totals for February and March together and divide by 2 and get 16.5. Okay. Now, part B is what's the mean snowfall for all 5 months? Well, what you would do is add all of them together and divide by 5. And hopefully you would get 14.4 inches, right? Just like I got down there. Oh, there's 16.5. Now, it says if June has 0 inches of snow, explain how to find the mean for all 6 months. Well, you would take your total that you got when you added all these things together
And divide it by 6.
and divide it by 6.
Or you
Right.
go play with your belly button.
Courtney?
Wait, Mr. Haynes, question. If you have an Audi, can you slicker your belly button first?
Bennett, I don't think that's a question I've ever thought to consider. So,
Google it.
Why don't we go through this first and he can Google it on his own later?
Okay, Google. Do people with Audi
13.
get pierced belly buttons?
Consider the following set of data. Okay. So, again, we've got some more data to look at. And if we look at the data,
Mel.
all right, it says, find a way to represent this data, do it. Why did you choose the method you did? You could use a bar chart, you could use a box and whisker plot, you could use a line graph, any way you felt was appropriate.
What does IQR mean?
What does what?
IQR.
Interquartile range.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, part B says, what is the median earnings? Well, there's only 6. So you would take the middle 2 here together, add them together, divide by 2, and you get $36,498.50. Okay. Then they ask, what's the range? And you would take the maximum value, the 74,560, and subtract off the minimum, which was 12,809. And when you do that, you get a range of 61,751. And then part D asks, based on this data, what can you conclude about education and earnings? Basically, it's the more education you get, the bigger average earnings you will have.
Ken, it looks really gross. Like, put it through it, and it's like 2 little things, looks like a mushroom sticking out. Just don't do it. If any of y'all's got AIDS, don't get your belly button pierced, or I'll rip it out.
There you go. There's your bit of advice from Bennett. If you have an Audi, don't get a navel
They
piercing.
can be infected quickly.
All right, number 14. Yep.
How would you make a histogram for that data?
A bar chart would probably be, just like a bar chart.
And then you would put like the education thing.
Education along the horizontal, money along the vertical. Okay. Holy cow, we're going to have to end this video.